FT Live at Nationals camp, and we're starting this one right off the jump with Nasim Nunez, second baseman for the Nats, joining us here on FT. Nasim, thanks for joining us, man. How you doing? How's camp?
Thanks for having me. And camp is going good, you know. It's almost over too, so it's even better.
You got like 3 weeks.
It doesn't feel like it. It feels like we've been deep into it.
I mean, you got you guys open what, 27th?
I think we're done. Isn't the last game like the 18th?
I don't know.
I think so.
There's no way. Maybe your last home game.
No.
You gotta get them gray pants out.
Yeah, right.
Wait, he's making me now I gotta check because I'm like, wait.
Yeah, go ahead and check that because I'd like to know too.
Yeah, we can. So what we'll do is we're gonna go over the whole spring training calendar right now. No, Nasim, you got plenty of time. What'd you say? The 18th?
What day is it over?
The 18th, the 23rd.
Oh,
you got almost an extra week there.
Wait, the 23rd is what? Baltimore?
Yeah, that's Baltimore. That's your last game. And
yeah, that's when we're in DC.
Oh, that's in DC. You're right. So that one's in DC.
I think the last spring training game is like the 18th.
You're right. Okay, so wait, I take it back. So here's what happens.
Yeah,
that was actually good. That was good. So the 19th, the spring training breakout game, which you're not playing, you're a big leaguer, and then the team. Well, the team has one more. No, actually, against Miami, against the Marlins in Jupiter on the 20th. So that's the last one. But maybe you don't have to play in that one, and you go already to the DC area, and then you guys have 2 out of 3 days in DC for exhibition games, and then 1 against Baltimore on the road in their house. So yeah, I guess you're not too far off here.
And we're
man.
off on Monday. Yeah, you know how it is. Spring training.
Yeah. He's
planning it out. You're already thinking about it. Yeah,
I'm ready to ball.
We're excited, man.
With spring training?
Yeah.
I won't say that.
You're not bored of spring training?
Nah.
Well, you sound like you're bored of spring training.
Oh, spring training is just long.
It is long. It is long.
We've been here for a while, so.
Did you come early?
Yeah.
Like what's early? Like a day or 2 early?
I mean, I live out here, so I've been.
You live in Jupiter?
Yeah.
Or you live in Palm Beach?
Yeah, I've been here.
You got that big money living in Palm Beach.
Investment money.
He knows what he's doing. Yeah. So, hey, tell us about this team. Tell us, who do you spend time with? And, who looks good right now in camp? Who's kind of like a pick to click for you that you think's going to have a big breakout year?
Okay. The team, honestly, we're a young core, and we got a lot of learning to do, but that's a good thing because we're gonna grow as teammates. So that's how the team chemistry will build. I spent a lot of my time with Woody. I've been talking with Dalen a lot, Christian Franklin, and Brady House for real. Our conversations are really baseball-y things, and we also vent to each other about how things are going through camp, and just being able to like bounce ideas and emotions off of each other. That helps build the team chemistry.
James Wood said you chirp at him all the time. You're this little chihuahua that nips at him.
He ain't gotta call me a chihuahua now, but
he didn't call you that. He just, I think Kratz said who's the little, because James so big. He said who's the, when the big dog and all the little chihuahuas try to bring down the big dog. And he said you were the number one.
I'm gonna chirp him because we gotta keep it real with each other. That's the only way we can communicate and actually build trust. So no matter what it is, and I'm gonna also be his biggest supporter. So yeah, but we bounce ideas off of each other back and forth. Even if one of us doesn't agree with the other, we're gonna still talk.
You guys like brothers.
Yeah, like
brothers.
We're brothers for real. Now I feel like that's what you have to be able to trust your teammates, and you're going to war out there with them every day. You want to know that they have your back no matter what at the end of the day. So yeah.
Your double play partner, CJ Abrams, how much does that relationship need to be honest? Because it seems like you're talking about honesty, not just, oh wow, yeah, roses and rainbows. Like, how honest do you guys have to be with each other, and who is more like, who gets on the other one more or less?
Honestly, me and CJ don't even really get on each other like that. It's more like we're just gonna play ball. So just let our abilities play on the field and do what they do. It's already good there, so be straight.
If you guys get into a bench clearing brawl, and you and CJ, who's first in the fire?
What you mean?
Like if the other team charges the mound and you and CJ are short and second, which one of y'all is going to be first to the fire?
Whoever's closer.
Okay, so you're not gonna be like CJ. No, I got you. I got him. I'm gonna grab him by his shirt.
Nah, he gonna be in there, and I'm gonna get right in there with him.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna be in there, and he gonna get right in there with me.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
I
ain't telling him not to.
Right, you both get after it. Hey, so you mentioned how this is a young team. There's a lot of learning to do. What do you think was the biggest thing that you saw from last year's team that needs to be fixed and that can be fixed?
Honestly, I believe it's intention. You know, as big leaguers, you go through the minor leagues and you learn who you need to become to be a big leaguer. So everything that led up to this moment in time, we've all been through. So now it's just about intention and not overworking, I would say, but doing the work with intent. Like I seen a video my dad sent me of Deion Sanders saying kids don't practice the right way anymore. Like you got to practice to be great. So you don't have to, it's more like quality over quantity. Like let's get this work in, let's do it right, and then let's get ready to go win a ball game.
You said you got to be who you are. Tell people who you are, because I don't think a lot of people know what kind of magic you got in that glove. I don't think a lot of people know a lot about Nasim Nunez.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I'm a ball player. I'm going to do whatever I have to do in the situation to win. And like I told Skip and I tell my teammates, I want to win every battle that comes in front of me. It doesn't matter what it is. I want to win. Now in baseball, you know, it's 3 out of 10. You're not going to win every single one, but the intention of wanting to win every single one, that'll give you a lead.
Is that what the new coaching staff, the new manager, the new front office is kind of conveyed to all you guys?
Something like that. You know, they want us to be a little bit more challenged in practice and work harder in practice and be challenged so that in the game it seems easier. So that's the new coaching staff.
How do you do that?
How do you do it?
You're bored at spring training already. How do you keep the challenge up?
You just do it. You know?
Is there a drill you guys do?
That trajectory is challenging. So a lot of guys hit the trajectory and stuff. So
I want Paul Toboni to go because he played in college. I told him he needs to go in there
for real?
Get some at bats off Skeens or Scoobable.
He be in there watching. So
he's in there all the time watching.
Yeah, he's watching. I don't think he's gonna get in there.
Does he intimidate y'all when he walks in?
Paul?
Yeah.
Nah. And it's actually pretty crazy. Paul was, when I was in high school, he was at a Red Sox workout and he was there with me. And I didn't even remember. He told me and I was like, that's crazy. And my mama was always telling me, make sure you're good to people. Like, no matter who they are, be respectful. And I told him, I was like, I could have been a complete, to you, but always instilled, like, be good to people. So he doesn't intimidate. He's another human being.
Yeah, but GMs can be intimidating. GMs can be intimidating for younger players, for younger teams, guys who aren't like, oh, they could cut me, they could not. Is he more or less intimidating than Rizzo was last year?
Paul Toboni?
Yeah.
You said him? Okay, I thought you said James.
No.
I don't know how to answer that because I try to not feel intimidated by anybody. You know, it's baseball and just playing baseball. So if you do what you have to do, you shouldn't be intimidated by anybody.
Are you? Whenever we have players on, I always pull up their wiki page, their Wikipedia page. It says you were born in the Bronx,
right?
But you don't talk like you're from the Bronx.
Nah.
So you grew up in
Georgia, yeah.
When did you move to?
3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you used New York. So I was born in New York. I moved to Orlando when I was 2. Right. So you use New York though when you need New York.
I mean,
you meet someone and they say, "Oh, I'm from New York." Like, me too. And then the next guy says,
No.
You say, me too.
I say my parents are from New York.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't, I go back home, but I'm really a Georgia boy. I grew up in Gwinnett County, but I grew up under the roof of New Yorkers. So I have New York in my blood, but all my friends and everybody is from Georgia.
As you get older, though, you'll see. You're gonna meet someone from the Bronx, I
already know how they are because my parents are just like that. So I know how to associate with them. Yeah, I don't really try to do the lingo and stuff because that's not me. But
are you a Bulldog fan?
I don't really do sports.
What do you do then?
Video games.
Oh my!
I don't really like watching sports.
You don't watch any baseball, any football, any basketball, nothing.
I watch highlights.
You were getting on me for being on Instagram.
For sure. I wasn't.
Is that all you do? Is you're a doom scroller?
Low key. I do that, and I'll do some conspiracies and stuff.
Did it land on the moon?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Is the Earth flat?
I don't know.
What do you mean? You just said
we can have this conversation off the camera.
That's good. All right. Well, then I'll try to steer you back to something that I think you can speak to. Tell me about your relationship with yourself as a switch hitter. Like, where do you feel better? How do you balance that? What's your tip for kids that are trying to be a switch hitter?
Okay, so this was a touchy topic because last year I was gonna quit hitting left-handed because it was just killing me, and I believe that moment of about to quit and not quitting was my breakthrough moment because I took everything that everybody was saying about me, all the information, it was just overloaded. Everybody was trying to tell me a certain way to hit, how to hit, and I kind of had to lose my mind to gain a better perspective and actually figure it out. And it opened the door for me. I was like, I'm a right-handed hitter, and one of my coaches said, your best coach is yourself. So I was like, I'm a good right-handed hitter. Why don't I just teach myself how to hit left-handed since I know how to hit right-handed? And that opened it. I don't lie. So, and for the kids at home switching, if you want to learn how to switch it, just whatever's natural to you, do that. Just do that and just keep doing it. Master it, because once you start mastering it, like, you just automatically get better.
That's good. I like that. I mean, AJ, like, where I'm sure you came across teammates where, you know, the switch hitter wants to quit one side, the splits are big, teams start coming to you, right? I mean, I'm sure you've come across guys like that.
Absolutely. Most of them do quit, so I'm proud of for him for not quitting, because most of them do quit and say, I'm going to only hit on one side. So
yeah, it was a big
deal for you not to do it.
It was bad. Like, I lost my mind. I just remember, like, goodness, like, this is it. I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years, and it's like, I can't touch a fastball.
Uh-oh.
So that's not a good thing. And then I was like, but I could touch a fastball right-handed. So why don't I just teach myself the feels and the mechanics of my right-handed swing to my left-handed swing and just kind of stop trying to prove myself and just start being.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, great insight, Nasim. Hopefully you had some fun with us here. Really enjoyed it. Good getting to know you. Thanks for swinging by.
Sure.
Yeah. This was fun. We'll catch you during the season.
For sure. Well, and hopefully I can see y'all off the camera. We talk some conspiracies.
Yeah. Oh, I'm down. Actually, no joke, all 3 of us are into that. So we're all good for a good conspiracy theory talk. So you can get AJ maybe out there. I'm in for all of that. Sign me up. Appreciate you. Good talking to you.
For sure. Thanks for having me, y'all.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, here we are, Kratz and me right now talking to you, and then we'll do some WBC talk coming up next. Also look forward to James Wood, Miles Mikolas, Blake Butera, and others from Nationals camp. They're rolling out the carpet for us, as I've been saying, for many teams, treating us really well at their spring training homes. But Kratz, the WBC has begun. We are watching real games. Yes, it is really nice. It is awesome. We've had 2 games so far and many, many, many more coming up. But Australia won 3-0 over Chinese Taipei. Travis Bazzana is legit. Number 1 overall pick a year ago. Homered. There he is. He's having a little fun representing a country that's really proud of him, Kratz. We've had him on. I don't remember if it was this show or I think it was on this show, but if not on our Baseball America Hot Sheet show. And I mean, he knows how much he's carrying, not just in this WBC, but I mean, he's really the face of baseball in Australia right now.
he did a different route from my other Australian teammates, that were coming over, like the Glenn Williams, the Jonathan Chappell, like different guys. Maybe they didn't make it, but they came out of high school where Travis went to college and then he was a first pick. So you sit there and you go, okay, like all eyes are on him. I remember talking, we talked to him, but we also talked to somebody else and just talked. It was one of the Australian announcers, and I'm forgetting who it was. And
Ryan
he
Roland
just
Smith.
said, yes, thank you. And he's just like, yeah, like that kind of signing, that kind of accolade, getting picked first in the draft, that makes other kids now 10 to 12 years old in Australia that are playing baseball, like have somebody to look up to. And I remember Ryan Roland Smith saying that about Glenn Williams, about other guys that had kind of like paved the path for Australians. So it's awesome to see him hit a dinger. And my buddy, catcher, I don't know him, but he's a catcher. So Robbie Perkins going Oppo, 31 years old. Dude's not even an affiliated ball. Oppo in Tokyo.
Love that. And yeah, Korea smashed Czechia 11-4 in the other game. And then Czechia plays again. The next game is tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Because remember, they're overseas. They're in Japan. They'll play Australia. So, and then we have 8 games on Friday, by the way, including USA versus Brazil, which we're about to talk about. Team USA next on FT.
So ready. Let's go.
Let's charge the mound, presented by Fox One. Jeremy Pena had to leave yesterday's exhibition game, and the problem for him is he took a bad hop on a ground ball, and suddenly it looks like there's a finger issue there. He's going to see a hand specialist today. There's news that's coming through as we're talking about it. So it sounds like he'll miss at least the first round. I mean, my guess, Kratz, is a team like Houston's not going to let him keep rolling in a WBC after this. I mean, you're shaking your head, but I'm just saying Jose Altuve got hurt last time around and had to miss some time. There is a permission factor. This is a guy who's pre-big ass contract. I'm just throwing it out there. AJ, too. Even if it ends up not being something like too drastic and it's a short recovery, it's hard to see a team saying okay and clearing a player to go when he just suffered an injury.
Yeah, these suck. This is what happens, and it could have happened anywhere. Just because it happened in the WBC, people say, "Oh, see, we knew the WBC was bad, and people are going to get injured." This could have happened in a spring training game right here at Cacti Ballpark behind me. So, I hope he's okay. I hope he's good, and hope this doesn't affect anything for contract for him down the road. And the Astros certainly hope it doesn't affect him for the season.
Yeah,
no doubt.
You get a bad hop at the camp that we're going to tomorrow at Houston's camp, like. It's unfortunate. I don't think, if there's nothing wrong, I don't see them saying, like, if it's not broken, I don't see the Astros saying, yeah, you can't play, because he's going to come back to Houston's camp and play right away. To me, position players, get out there, go play real games. We just talked to Nasim Nunez, and he's like, yeah, I'm kind of over camp. What do you think some of these veterans are? Like, you want them to be playing in real games. Pitchers, I understand, but if it's broken, I also understand. Like, he's out. Like, he's not coming back.
Yeah, so for the Dominican Republic roster, it would be a tough loss for them in the WBC if it doesn't end up happening. We'll get more news. We don't know a ton yet on what's going on there. I am going to transition us to for the TV crowd. We did talk a little bit during our break about how games have already begun. We're super stoked. And while we're on the Astros, Shea Whitcomb, is trying to make a name for himself in the big leagues. He hit 2 home runs for Korea in the WBC, and his manager on the Astros, Joe Espada, was just asked about it and said, hey, we're all watching. Those ABs count. We're tracking pitch selection, tracking quality of pitching, hitting, all that kind of stuff. Those at-bats count to our spring training count. So I thought that was an interesting quote, AJ, to say, hey, I know he can't be here for potentially a couple weeks, but he's still trying to make a team and make a place for himself on a ball club. And we're going to count that towards what we're seeing.
Well, it's an interesting take, right? By Joe Espada and the Astros, and then also for the player, because they have to leave the team they're trying to make, which is their bread and butter, and which is where they're going to make their money, to go play for a country and for glory in the WBC. How does the team look at that, and how do you evaluate them if they're not here? It's a tough thing. We talked to Freddie Peralta yesterday. He said, I didn't go to the WBC because it's a contract year and I'm on a new team and I wanted to get to know the new people. So for him to go over there and know that the Astros are watching and then to perform like that, that's a big deal. It can only help because these are in front of big crowds in meaningful games early in the year. And if he's keeps doing what he's doing, it's going to help him make the team.
And then go ahead, Kratz.
No, I was just gonna say the competition sometimes can be super high and super low. Like, you're gonna face some dudes with Chinese Taipei that you'll never see in the big leagues, but you're gonna face some dudes when they play against Korea and Japan that you're gonna see and not even see in big league spring training. So it's a hard evaluation, but like Joe Espada said, like, they have it all. They have the tracking. They have everything. So they know when he's making good decisions and when he hits a dinger off of somebody that's throwing 79 miles an hour.
All right, let's talk big picture here. We've got one more day until the Team USA roster gets to show what it's got in a real game. They did 2 exhibition games where they scored, I think, 29 runs. They played the Rockies in the last one. We got to see Kershaw for a couple outs, which was cool. And the team reaffirmed that he's really just the breaking glass emergency situation guy. What do we think? Who's winning this thing? And AJ, do you have an MVP, an X Factor, a name to watch, something like that? I mean, you're about to go call some games out there too.
I mean, who do you think I'm going to say, Scott? Who do you think I'm going to say? Where am I from, Scott?
I think you're going to say
New York,
of course,
Chicago,
Team Poland.
Seattle.
Great if they made it.
We need a little more love for Polish baseball, by the way. The Polish Baseball Federation needs to figure out a way to get us Polish people into the WBC. But of course, I'm going to say USA. I'm from the USA. I'm proud of being an American. I'm proud to be an American. So yes, I'm rooting for the USA. Who's my X Factor? The whole stinking lineup for USA. And Aaron Judge finally hitting the postseason. Can he carry that over to the WBC? Because these are meaningful, like postseason games.
Mi equipo para WBC es Dominicana. Mi favorito para béisbol. Quiero Dominicana para mucho dinero para mí. I want the Dominican to win because that's big money for me. I think the Dominican is going to win. I just, something about how their pitching staff has a much better chance of not just being just slinging the rock up there. I think they have a pitching staff that matches their lineup. Does their lineup match other teams' lineups? Absolutely. And I think if the Dominican wins it, I think Junior Caminero is going to be the MVP. If they have an MVP, I don't even know. I think if US wins it, I'm looking at like a Bryce Harper or like a Alex Bregman, guys that have done Team USA, guys that have, been there, done it. Those are going to be the guys. But to me, I got the Dominican. They're also giving me plus. BetMGM was giving me plus 450 when I locked it in, so I like it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. The lineup can keep up. I think the starting pitching can keep up. AJ's kind of shaking his head. What are you shaking your head about? I mean,
no, I'm just listening to the music.
Okay, so
we got some Nelly back there.
We're gonna have a problem, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hey, we're hearing something too in the background. Somebody's got their mic open or something like that. Just throwing that out there. All right. Anyway, let's show the schedule. I want to show the schedule because this ties into what we're talking about here with Fox 1. Of course, you can catch some games on TV too, FS1, Fox, the whole deal. But we've got Japan getting going on Friday, Team USA. If you want to watch Cuba, Mexico is playing Great Britain. USA is playing Brazil, by the way, and Puerto Rico against Colombia. So tons of games. I mean, it's kind of like even more baseball all day, all night than the playoffs is for the wild card rounds, AJ, because we've got some funky times with teams in different time zones too. So there's a ton of baseball that you can watch, and it is meaningful. And you can catch it all on the Fox One app. So if you would like a free trial, a 7-day free trial can come your way, fox1.com, or you can scan that QR code that is currently on your screen to make that happen as well. It's WBC. It's the beginning of the baseball season, and every Fox Saturday, including many AJ games for you all season long. It's the postseason. It's the World Series. It's the NFL. It's college football. There's so much you can find on that beautiful Fox One app. We'll be right back. Here we are. Yeah, AJ, lay out your schedule for us. So we started to talk about it here, but you've got a couple games, and I know you're excited about it. You get a Scooble game in there for Fox too.
Yeah, I get the 2 big games on Fox tomorrow night and Saturday night. Both USA games against Brazil and against Great Britain. Then I gave it up to John Smoltz and Joe Davis for the next 2 USA games, and then I get to go to Miami for the quarterfinals, one of the quarterfinals on Big Fox, which could be, I think, Dominican, Japan, Venezuela. Whoever makes it through those 2 pools will be the quarterfinals. And then I give it up again to Davis and Smoltz to do the semis and the finals. So I'm looking forward to this. So you guys know how much I love the WBC, and I mean, just to get to be around the USA team for a couple of days is going to be pretty solid thing to walk in there and see basically an all-star team playing against. Listen, let's be honest. Brazil and Great Britain don't have the greatest rosters, but hey, it'll be hopefully a nice tune-up before Mexico and Italy step up to the U.S.
I know you. Yeah, and Kratz, I was going to ask AJ. You know, you go into many clubhouses all year. You're at many spring training spots right now. How do you think it's going to feel for you when you walk into a clubhouse that's, I mean, beyond all-star status, right? It's like superstar status in that clubhouse. Everybody in one spot too. It's not even AL and NL side. It's just like the biggest names in the sport all in one place. You walk around and your first glance, like looking at the lockers.
What's it going to feel like? I'm happy we have FT, and I'm happy that I have the Fox job because I know most of these guys, a lot of them for having them on foul territory. So it's not intimidating. I remember when I first started doing this job for foul territory and for Fox, when you walk into a locker room, you're kind of intimidated by going up to guys. But now that we've had most of them on, it's an easy go up to them, say hi, appreciate everything you're doing. And of course, I'm going to give them a little pat on the butt and say, let's go USA.
Very cool.
America.
Yeah. America. Exactly. All right. So you can catch AJ on those games. Coming up next, we've got the Andrew McCutchen news, and we might get to an injury or two. And then we'll get many more Nationals interviews coming up soon as well. Hey, the FT Spring Training Tour is engineered by Fastenal. To learn more information about the company, head over to fastenal.com, FASTENAL.com. Calendar for you as we're in week 3 of our 5-week tour. Thank you to the Nationals for hosting us today. And then an easy little hop over to Astros camp as they're next to each other. Then Braves, Rays, Orioles, Twins, Red Sox next week. And we finish up our tour with the Tigers, Pirates, Blue Jays, and Phillies camps. That's from the 16th to the 19th. All right, we're back, and we're going to go over a little breaking news that actually went down right before the show. Andrew McCutchen had been trying to find a home and wanted it to be Pittsburgh. It's not Pittsburgh. It's a minor league contract, and it is with the Texas Rangers. So what do you think about this, guys? Kratz, I'll start with you. I mean, you played a little bit with the Pirates. I know there was a little back and forth with McCutchen on social media about how he was not pleased that he was not invited to FanFest, and ultimately doesn't end up getting a contract with the team either.
It's tough. It's tough to see, but at the end of the day, the season's going to start. He's going to make the team or he's not going to make the team, whatever it is. That's the ugly part of baseball, but it's also part that, Andrew McCutchen through his career hasn't had to deal with that. And I know it's tough on him. I know it's tough, and I know he knows in his mind he's not done. He can contribute to a winning team. And I think that was the part that was probably the hardest for him, was the fact that they were planning to win, and he's been there during some lean years, and he's like, wait a minute, like, you guys, he wasn't looking for a handout. He's looking to be part of a winning team in his city, the city he now lives in, the city his family and his kids they're raising their kids in. Like, he's been a part of this city, and he felt like this was the time that it was going to be to win, and they don't want him to be a part of it. Like, I think it was tough for him, but I think he's going to an organization that also wants to win. So good for him. He does still need to make the team. That's huge. That some people don't think, he's definitely going to be on the team. He has to make the team, and he's kind of starting a little bit late here, but knowing Kutch, he'll be ready.
I can't imagine him signing with Texas without him having some sort of you're going to make the team talk with Chris Young before he signed it. He's not going to Texas Rangers camp and not having a somewhat of an idea of him making that team. And I also think that it just sucks for Pittsburgh. It sucks that they couldn't figure out a way to have him back in some sort of role. He's a winning player still. He's a winning guy in the clubhouse. He's a winning presence in the city of Pittsburgh. I just think this sucks for the fans. Yes, I know Kutch is living there, and he's kind of embedded himself in the fabric of Pittsburgh. I just wish he could have figured out a way to spend the rest of his career, whether it's 1 more year, 2 more years, whatever it is, and go out a Pittsburgh Pirate the way he should. There's certain people that are synonymous with organizations. I know Andrew McCutchen went and played for other teams, but he's a Pittsburgh Pirate, and he should end his career one way or the other as a Pittsburgh Pirate.
But how do you do that if the team doesn't want you? And we can make a case for the team.
Well, that's my thing, Scott. Like, you can't tell me they can't find a spot for him on the team.
But that's what they are saying, AJ. So I'm trying to get past that part, right? Like, for whatever reason, they don't want him back. At many times last year, he was probably their best, most reliable hitter. But the team has decided they don't want him back. I mean, clearly it has been spoken there. You know what? At some point, we'll probably find out if they had conversations and how serious it got. In my mind, clearly it didn't offer him a big league contract, right? Otherwise, he would be there. So he ends up signing a minor league contract. The team can say, we had discussions. We would have given him this deal. Yeah, we would have given Schwarber that deal. We would have given this guy that deal. I don't give it. We had Gino. That doesn't mean anything. Twins offered Framber Valdez a deal. Okay. Most of that stuff is BS. So in this case, I'm trying to push forward, AJ, and say, team didn't want him. Like, whether you agree with it or not, team didn't want him. So could it have been handled better before that point? Could the Pirates have said to him last year, hey, dude, this is a really hard topic for us, but we're going to move on after this year?
Yeah. And maybe told him before, because then the fans could have given him a proper salute, a proper send-off. Again, they got to figure out a way to bring him back, even if it's on one of those one-day contracts to end his career as a Pirate. Have him throw out the first pitch, have him sign some autographs, give him that moment in Pittsburgh, in that ballpark, at PNC Park, so that the fans can salute Andrew McCutchen one last time.
My thing is, I think Kutch is going to play this year. I know he's got to make the team, and maybe I'm off, but I mean, there was still quality at bats from him. He was around a league average hitter. Kratz, I think he's still going to play. I mean, whether he makes the Rangers or another team, I think he's going to be on a big league roster.
He's going to play. He shows he can play. And people are saying, he would just be a DH, or he would just there's a spot on every team for a guy like Andrew McCutchen. Our team's willing to not have a certain piece of flexibility. Maybe, maybe not. But to me, he has he has the ability to still play. And I think, like AJ said, like the dude played at home the last few years. Now he's got to go to Texas. And so to go to spring training with Texas, I think there's an opportunity there that the Rangers, Skip Schumacher, who I've talked to a few times, has talked about changing that culture in that clubhouse to be the culture that he wants. Not necessarily, there was negativity or something last year, but just the culture that he wants. So to bring in a guy like Kutch, it's a no-brainer when you're talking about a culture guy, a guy that just brings a different kind of energy and professionalism.
And when it comes to plate discipline, he is off the charts good. He is still one of the best in baseball. Like if you look at his StatCast page from last year, he was 92nd percentile in chase percentage, 88th percentile in walk percentage. He's been really good at putting together those long ABs for a long time now. You know how some guys stick around? Maybe Carlos Santana is a good example, or even make some more money or get signed on by teams because they just want his plate discipline to rub off on the rest of the team. Doesn't Kutch bring that vibe a little bit too? If you watch his ABs,
yes,
he does. He gives you professional at bats all the time. That's why, I mean, they have some, let's be honest. I mean, as much as we like what the Pittsburgh Pirates did this offseason, are they winning the World Series this year?
no.
Nope.
Okay, so then you have a spot for Kutch, and he can teach some of your younger kids. Think about how good Connor Griffith could be if he could watch Andrew McCutchen's at bats, and he could have Andrew McCutchen in the dugout talking to him about pitchers, talking to him about situations, talking to him about how to be a big leaguer. That's invaluable. That's the thing I have about this. If the Pittsburgh Pirates were going out and they're trying to win the World Series, I get it, but they're not going to win the World Series. I'm sorry.
That's the issue, AJ. The issue is they don't see the value in that. In my opinion, they don't see the value in that. I'm not saying Marcelo Ozuna can't do that or Brandon Lau can't do that, but I don't think teams necessarily see the value in something that you just said is invaluable because they aren't trying to make the World Series. I shouldn't say that. They would like to make the World Series this year. I don't think they are. But what is this year going to build for them to be able to make the World Series? For Connor Griffin to be the best big leaguer that he can be for the entire Pittsburgh tenure, for his entire 20-year career, whatever it ends up being. And to me, I think Andrew McCutchen pays dividends way more down the road than saying, ooh, well, we could have signed this guy who has who might give us a 106 OPS plus, and Kutch is just going to be a 101 OPS plus. I just think the value is so much greater to have a guy like that on the roster, but I'm biased.
Yeah, and also none of us are saying he's a superstar anymore. He used to be a superstar. He's not a superstar anymore. We get that, right? This isn't defending a player. It's just like, hey, this isn't somebody who was a 500 OPS, a 70 OPS plus. Like this guy was still putting up decent numbers. On a team in a ballpark that can be difficult, on a team that wasn't doing much last year offensively. And yes, like AJ mentioned, did they patch up a few holes? No doubt. But they didn't patch up every hole. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. And I think most people are rooting for Kutch. He's going to have a massive chip on his shoulder to try and prove something to the rest of the league. Even if this is his last season, you saw it on social media. You'll see it from a guy who's a competitive guy. We'll see what he looks like in camp. Okay, coming up next, James Wood, the star of the Washington Nationals, joining us on FT. Hey, let's do a quickie injury suck segment here. Hunter Greene has some elbow issues. He's going to get an MRI. No UCL damage on this elbow, but apparently it was barking in the last 5 or 6 starts, he said, of last year where he had elbow discomfort. He said it was a playoff push, so he pushed through it, felt fine in the offseason. Said he got an injection about a week before spring training. Discomfort came back. Apparently there's some bone chips going on there as well. Terry Francona talked about Hunter Greene. Here's the quote. He's just not recovering the way he's comfortable. Ball's coming out pretty good. You're asking a guy to go out there and throw as hard as he can. We need to make sure he's okay. Just talking about again how he's going to meet with Dr. Kremchik this week, and then Dr. Ella Trash, I should say, on Monday. So stay tuned on the Hunter Greene front, and then that's the quote from Hunter Greene that you're looking at on the screen right now. But AJ, that's not good. This is the big boy on the staff.
This is not good, and I remember him talking about this last year. The Reds they were trying to keep it quiet, but it did get out that he was dealing with something. So now we kind of know what it is. You just hope it's best case scenario and it's something small, minor, where he doesn't have to have the old Thomas Jonas. But yeah, this sucks for the Reds because the Reds are expected to really compete this year. And so we'll see. They still have a good staff without Hunter Greene, but they're a much better staff with Hunter Greene leading the charge.
Mm-hmm.
Tough.
Now we kind of know what it is.
Tough, because I still feel like the Reds are a team that if this lineup, Matty McLean just hit a oppo dinger the other day, like, is he healthy? Is Ellie take the next step? Is Sal Stewart going to be the guy that he kind of was his rookie year and take another step? I feel like this lineup could join this pitching staff, but when you lose your number one, they're fortunate. They have other guys that can be number ones also, that can be that solid number two, but you just can't replace a Hunter Greene if they miss him for a significant amount of time.
One other quick injury note too. Andrew Kittredge has right shoulder inflammation for the Orioles. He's not low probability that he'll be ready for opening day. That's the one thing to keep an eye on with Baltimore. I'm not sure about the bullpen there, so keep an eye on that. And it's not just your bullpen's got to be tight in that division. Much more injury news each week on Injury Territory with Will Carroll. It's one of our newest shows, so make sure you give them a sub on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. James Wood next. We've got James Wood from the Nationals joining us right now over at camp. James, how's everything going? And I want to know how camp is with kind of a new regime taking over here, including front office and your manager, Blake Butera.
Yeah, I mean, camp's been good so far. I mean, I think everyone's just been super excited. I mean, it's a lot of new faces, so just getting to know everybody, getting comfortable with these guys, and I mean, it's a lot of new ideas. So, great.
What have they brought for you? New idea wise.
I mean, it's been nothing crazy. I mean, just a lot of defense stuff. I mean, we're trying to hammer that. I mean, I feel like that's one area that myself and a lot of these guys feel like we can make a lot of strides. So,
what about offensively?
I mean,
go out there and hit 40, drive in 100.
I mean, yeah, that'd be nice. But I mean, yeah, just controlling the zone. I mean, they're just super big on that. I mean, I feel like once you do that, I feel like the results kind of come with that.
All right, before we dig really deep into the Nationals, I want to know, you're from Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up in Maryland, but then you moved to IMG Academy. How does a guy from Maryland end up at Bradenton at IMG?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like going there. Like, in Maryland, I played basketball and baseball, so I always kind of knew like baseball was kind of gonna be my main focus. But I think once I went there, like I was making the decision to really just lock in on baseball, and I just felt like that was the best place to do it.
Do you miss basketball at all?
Not a whole lot. I mean, I miss like playing pickup, like 3-on-3 and all that. But I feel good where I'm at now, so I don't miss it a whole lot.
I heard there's a wicked pickup game here among the coaches. Now you can't play in it,
Really?
But I heard the coaches in the front office have a
Really. I gotta ask
game.
about that.
Yeah,
now.
you need to find out. You might go out there and post. You could post play coverage.
Yeah.
Hey,
find out about that.
James, question for you. So going back to what I was asking at the top, when you get a new group in, right? I know they try to do some homework and speak to some players that have been there for a minute and say, hey, what did you love? And we won't change it. What did you not love? And we'll try and change it. Did you get asked that? And if so, what was your answer?
I mean, yeah, I didn't really have a whole lot to say. I mean, I just think the main thing for me was just try and build a good relationship with these guys, and I feel like the rest will kind of take care of itself. I feel like once everyone's sort of comfortable around each other, then I feel like we could start to iron some things out. But I mean, this group's been super open. It's been a lot of good conversations, so I feel like we've done some good things so far.
How long does it take you to learn the staff and what they're looking for out of you? How long does that take as a player?
Honestly, not too long. I feel like a couple of conversations here and there, and you can kind of get a good idea. And obviously, beginning of spring, there's a good amount of meetings, so you kind of get a good gist of how they want to go about things during that too. So,
what are some goals for you? Can you tell us what the goals for this season are, offensively or even defensively? Because you kind of hit on it a little bit with the defense.
Yeah, I mean, I just think I want to stay healthy the whole year. I want to play every game if that's possible. And I mean, I feel like this offseason I've been working with the training staff, and feel like I put some good work in. I feel like my body's in a good spot to do so. So
will they let you play 162 though? Because we don't believe in load management. This ain't the NBA now.
No.
If you got to play 2 games in a row, actually.
I told him if I'm healthy and I can play, I want to be in the lineup. So,
how did you feel at the end of the year last year? Because sometimes this was your first actual full season in the big leagues this past year. How did you feel at the end of the year? Were you like, oh yeah, I was good, I'm fine? Or was it like, woo, coming down the stretch, we got a little tired?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some games or some weeks where you don't feel great, but I feel like everyone's kind of fighting that battle in the league too. So, I mean, I felt pretty good, honestly. Like there's some spots where I was like, whew, like it kind of hit me a little bit, but then I feel like you get a second wind at other points during the year. So.
Hey, James, how do you think the league was attacking you last year, and how did it change? Like, what did you study? Do you do that over the off season? Even for a fan like me, looking at the basic, all right, this guy has a lot of opposite field pop. Maybe they're going to be a little more careful on the outside. What did you see?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's sort of individual to each pitcher, and I mean, I think once you start facing teams and certain arms more and more, you kind of can formulate plans against each guys. But I feel like it's always kind of that cat and mouse. But I feel like for me, the biggest part is just kind of controlling the edges of the zone and just waiting for my mistake and just being ready for that.
Do you feel like you're a baseball junkie? Do you feel like you're somebody that's like, I'm just going to take all the information when we get on the plane after a day game, I'm going to watch a game afterwards? Or are you able to step back and do other things?
No, I think that's one thing I kind of had to learn throughout the minor leagues. I mean, it's a hard game, so you don't want to try and eat yourself up over it. Like I think it's just good to take a step back. Obviously, you still got to go over what happened, what you did well, what you could have done better, and kind of decompress that way. And then once you're done with that, sort of just move on and just be a person after that. I mean, I feel like that's a big part of balancing the ups and downs of baseball.
Hey, James, I think you're the perfect person to ask this to. So you're still a very young player in the sport, but you're one of the big guys on this team. So now we all of a sudden have this new wrinkle added to the mix, the ABS challenge system. It is partially created for moments like ninth inning, you're up, right? And there's dudes on and you have a chance with one swing to win the game. So my question to you is, as a pretty humble rising star in the sport, do you recognize that those challenges are getting saved for you? Like they're going to want you to use that in those spots, right? And sometimes they might want the 9-hitter on the team to not challenge something in the third inning because they want James Wood to be able to challenge a 3-2 pitch or a 2-2 pitch, whatever, that he disagreed with, that gets him to 3-2, that gets him to that home run in the 8th.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I kind of got the chance to experiment with it in AAA, and I mean, I wasn't very good at it then. I think the only one I got right, I challenged on accident. So I mean, before I get to that point, I'm gonna have to practice it a little bit and try and improve my average.
You ever feel bad when you do the umpire? The umpire's doing his best.
No, I mean,
everyone has to watch, and then he fails miserably on the big screen.
I mean, we all make mistakes, so I mean, sometimes I gotta swing at a curveball in the dirt and look at myself on the big screen. So,
do you ever have you seen some of the games that have happened where 5-6 challenges in the first couple innings for these umpires?
yeah, that's tough. I always feel bad too when it's like when 3 of them are like missing by about this much.
Yeah.
But
Of an inch is like
yeah, like I think some of the guys, like there was one pitch and it was during spring, and like it was either like it was one of those where it was like 1/10 of an inch, and like the ump kind of just laughed it off. So I mean, I asked him, I was like, they don't dock you that much for missing that, do they? So I mean, I think there's some calls where it's like it's tough for the ump, but I mean, other times I feel like they
I
can
wonder how the guy knows that it's 1/10 of an inch off the plate.
Yeah, I
It's
think
kind of
sometimes
lucky,
they're
right?
just hoping. Yeah.
Who would you say you spend the most time with, whether it's off the field or texting in the off season on the current roster?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like in the locker room, I feel like we all kind of chop it up a good amount. Like I feel like the position player group we got, I feel like we kind of mess around with each other a lot. It's a whole bunch of different personalities. Like I know last year, for most of the year, it was Jacob Young, Dylan Cruz, Nasim, and CJ. So I mean, we would chop it up with those. Those were most of the guys that were there for most of the year. So I mean, I feel like we got a good
Who you're
group.
living with? Who's your roommate in spring training?
TJ White. He's a minor league guy. I play with him in high A. So
Who would you say you give?
Oh, I mean, we just kick it, watch TV.
Gaming?
Yeah, get 6 a little bit. I feel like that's kind of where I'm locked in at during spring. I'm on the game a bunch.
Are you a rocket leaguer? Kratz is a rocket leaguer.
Really? Yeah, no, I'm not that. That game, that's a tough game.
Is it?
Yeah, like if you're good at that game, like you got my respect. That's a tough game.
Who would you say you give the hardest time to? Of that crew that you just said, you said you guys chop it up in the clubhouse, like it's a rain delay. Who would you say you guys just start needling the most?
I don't know. I feel like it rotates. I mean, I feel like JY wears it a lot, but I mean, CJ might wear it a little bit. I mean, it's like a rotating table.
Ain't nobody.
What about for you?
I don't catch it too much, but
he's bigger than everybody. Kratz. Who's going to say anything to him? They just grab them by their ear and carry them around.
Exactly.
No, that's when the little Chihuahua comes around and they start barking at the big dog. That's what happens. Like they start. Who's that guy? Who's that guy that's always just biting at your heels? Like, and you're like, man, get away.
I mean, Nas he's Chihuahua size, so he's probably the guy barking at me.
That's good. Well, James, we appreciate the time, man. Awesome to talk to you. Good luck the rest of spring, and we'll catch you during the season.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
James Wood, big, friendly giant, really kind. I thought it was fun to ask him the question about the ABS challenge system because it's like, hey, you got to be the guy. I mean, the Nationals want you to be able to do the head tap and say, hey, no, I deserve an extra pitch here. I think you got that one wrong. Although you need to be good at evaluating the zone. So it sounds like he'll still have some spring training practice to do that. Anyway, let's talk to Paul Toboni. We spoke to him earlier today, so just letting you guys know, and it was crazy wind and all that. So we took a clip from it to show it to you guys. Plus, we still have a jammed schedule the rest of the way. So here's a little bit from our Paul Toboni conversation. We have the Nationals president of baseball operations, Paul Toboni, joining us on FT right now. Paul, great to see you. So is this everything that you dreamed it would be? Running a big league front office in camp with the guys, getting to put your stamp on this team?
Well, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. This is fun. This time of year in October, probably my favorite times of the year. Just, it is spring training. Like, I think it's a great time to get to know the staff, spend time with the staff, the player group, bunch of camaraderie being built. So it's been fun. And to answer your question, it's been exactly what I thought it'd be, and it's been a blast.
Harder than you thought or easier than you thought it would be? Because you've been in front offices, but you've never kind of been the head guy. Is there more on your plate than you thought or less on your plate?
So I don't know if I would say it's harder or easier. It's just different. Like we talked about, I came from Boston, and Boston's just different. Dynamics are different. I I think they're in a different state as an organization, right? So what I was accustomed to the last 2 or 3 years, it just feels different here. And it feels new in the sense that, for instance, like our whole major league staff is new with the exception of Du, right? So a bunch of front office folks are new, right? So it just feels like we're kind of we're getting off the ground in a way that Boston wasn't really. Like Boston was, been around the same people for a long period of time. So it just feels different, but different in a great way.
Paul, I know you guys obviously made some moves this offseason. One of the most recent was the Mackenzie Gore deal. I'll start this way with your current group. Do you say anything to the group now that they're in camp? Like, hey, whether you thought your name was being floated around in a trade rumor, even if it wasn't, and that happens pretty frequently, or you're just worried about the, direction of where everything is going. Like, this is the group now, let's just run this and this is what it's going to look like. Do you have to say anything to kind of establish what the, expectations are for the year?
Yeah, Scott, I would actually take it back, right? Like before we even made that trade, having conversations with Mackenzie, right? Like, hey, throughout the offseason, like, hey, this is something that could happen. I'm going to communicate with you often if it does feel like it's going to happen. For the longest time, it was like I didn't think anything was going to happen, and I would relay as much to Mackenzie. And then that week leading up to it, I just basically told him like, hey, I don't know if something's going to happen, but teams are getting a little bit more aggressive. I get what the public says about where we're going to finish and all that, but we're gonna care about the things that contribute to winning. If that means throwing hard and paying guys, great. But also, we're not going to be some forward-thinking organization that doesn't care about the smaller and sexier things that contribute to winning. That balls up off in the gaps, and first to thirds, and all that. And we want them to realize, like, hey, it's their job to dominate both, no matter who's your teammate, no matter who the person is in my shoes or Blake's shoes or whoever. And I think they've really taken on to that because not only is it the best thing for their careers, but it's the best thing for the team.
What's the new tech you guys have here? Give me the Washington Nationals new technology that no one else has.
You can walk around and see some of it. The one that piece of equipment that gets the most attention is the traject. I don't know if you've seen that up close, but we got that.
Have you taken the swing off of it yet?
Have I?
Yes.
No.
You're not loading up Paul Skeens and saying, let's go?
No, I'm not. I'm good off Paul Skeens. I think I know what Paul Skeens will do to me. But no, it's been really, really fun. Like seeing the guys. We got kids that have just come over from the Dominican that are awesome talents with no fear, hopping right in there, putting Skeens up there, putting Scuba up there, whoever, and taking hacks. And I love it. Like there's no fear of failure. They're working their butts off, and that's a culture we're trying to create. Like I talked about getting comfy, being uncomfortable in those environments.
4 kids, right? 4 boys?
Yeah, we got 4 kids. I don't know if it's exactly relaxing hanging out with 4 boys under 7 years old, but that's what I do. I mean, you know how it is, right? Like these jobs, you spend a lot of time in them, and it's pretty much my job and my family, and that's the way I've kind of decided to roll through life, and I love it.
You don't golf, you don't go outside.
It's kind of tough.
Get on the swings and they push you.
Yeah, I was joking the other day. It's tough. I think I'm gone for however many days. Like going to my wife, who's a saint, saying like, "Hey, I'm going to jet out for 5 hours and go play a round of golf." She's going to be like, "I don't know about that," So, I'm not a big fishing guy. I would love to be. So I got to get with Miles or Brady or one of these guys to take me out fishing down here because I think I'd love it
for sure.
Well, Paul, we appreciate the time. Thank you so much for joining us, and good luck this season, man.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on.
And the big one this week is Giancarlo Stanton. Now he's out there, he's playing, but how well is he playing? We know he had that the elbow issue last year. It was kind of tennis elbow. It's the kind of things you see for golfers, for rec league tennis. It is a thing, epicondylitis, but he rested and he came back and he hit enough. But now this spring, first he was saying everything's great, it's going to be manageable, we're going to have to deal with this the rest of my career, I get it. But then he's telling people he can't open a bag of chips. And even this I can't figure out because, sometimes bags of chips can fight back. I get it. You grab them, you're fighting with them, but that's not really the motion that should do it. So is he having muscular pain? Is just that tension causing problems for his tendon? That would suggest a lot more than just the epicondylitis, the tennis elbow. That would suggest tendinosis, that he's actually having cellular changes inside that elbow, that things are not going well on a cellular basis and is causing him pain. If it's degenerating that significantly, yes, they can continue to manage it, but for how long? I think that's going to be the biggest question. How are they going to maximize him when he's healthy? If they find something that works, if just the planets line up for Giancarlo, then you get him out there and you hope he goes on one of those hot streaks like he did a couple Octobers ago. But this one, you're talking about collagen fibers and tendon remodeling. And with someone who's generating such enormous force through his forearms, he can't stabilize the barrel. He can't control the motion. I'm very curious if pitchers will challenge him with a lot of motion, movement, that is, try to get him chasing sliders and extending out. Uh, at some point, he's not going to be able to control his brain because the brain is going to protect the tissue by reducing the force output. And that means the bat speed dips, the exit velocity follows when he hits it. A hitter can't compensate for force production the way he can adjust for timing.
All right, we're sitting down now with Cade Cavalli. We're live at Nationals camp. Cade, great to have you on here. Thank you for the time. And how's camp going for you? How you feeling? How's everything looking? Your name has popped up multiple times, I'll tell you, from others that we've spoken to, that things look like they're coming out really well out of the hand.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me on. Camp's been great. A lot of new faces. It feels fresh, exciting. And I love the talent that we got here. I love the culture that's being put in place. And I'm just pumped to get going.
What are we doing? Let's not talk pitching right now. What do we got? What do we got with the handlebar, Raleigh fingers?
Yeah, I mean, you just said it.
What are we doing?
This is inspired by Raleigh. So we're gonna rock with it. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it performs well.
You have the wax that you put in it?
Oh, yeah.
How long did it take you?
Not very long. I mean, I've been doing it. So I really just started curling it right before camp. But once you start curling it a little bit more, it gets trained. So I'm waking up and it's like, it's ready to be curled.
So you trained your mustache to look like that?
Yeah, yeah. It's a whole training process.
That's a lot.
How committed?
We're committed to it.
How committed? Because baseball players, fans are listening. They want to know what baseball players are thinking. Like, is it one start? Is it one great start and you're good for like 3 more starts? Is it one start?
We'll see. I don't know. We're going to play it by ear as the season goes on. My wife doesn't really like it, but I told her she's going to have to live with it for a little bit. So
that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Does your wife like it?
No.
Yep.
No.
Oh, they'll be gone. One bad start.
Yeah, exactly.
Be gone.
One bad, no way.
He'll wake up and his wife will have cut it when he's sleeping. He won't even know.
It'll look good. It'll look good on an all-star poster. How about that?
I would like that. That'd be nice. It's gotten to a point where I'm talking to people and I can just see their eyes moving down. Looks like they're looking at my lips. I'm like, hey, eyes up here. Yeah.
Eyes up. Eyes up. Not this region. Right here.
Yeah, keep your eyes up.
It's hard not to look at it.
Yeah. I saw you do it.
I know, it kind of draws you in.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm trying to look at your eyes, but I'm just infatuated with the curls.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. Are you throwing 100 again? What's the track
right around
staying
there.
on the velo?
We're right around there.
Yeah, because you hit 100 last year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What'd they put in your arm when they redid it?
I was up to 100 before surgery, so it's been there. We just need to take the brunt and force, So
what's the spring looking? Any new pitches we should be talking about? Are you thinking like a cutter, splitter ball?
No, I wish. But we went with a sweeper this year. So I was a reverse split guy last year. Handled lefties well. Righties not as well as I did lefties, and we needed something to go expand the zone left with. My curveballs, north and south. I got a changeup, a sinker, so everything's going into them, and we needed something horizontally that can get away from a barrel. And over the off season, pretty early on in the off season, Simon and Doolittle got on a Zoom call with me and just stuck the ball up to the screen like, "This is the grip you're going to throw. I want you to throw it exactly like your curveball." And they told me it was going to be pretty bad at the beginning because it was a seam shift pitch where if you're not with good intent, it's not going to do what you want. So I started throwing it this offseason. I was like, man, I just need to throw a slider. Like, this is bad. And then as I got going, I started ripping it harder and harder. We saw the numbers start to creep more. And, it's a depthy pitch. I'm throwing it just like my curveball. But it's kind of a flip-flop on the numbers horizontally. So, like, if it's 15-6 for my 12-6, it'll be like 8 to 10 with 15 going that way. So
I have no idea what you're talking.
Sorry. Yeah, I thought you would. Yeah.
I played before we had all that.
Right.
We just actually would be like,
we're just talking about numbers on the chart.
On the horizontal.
Yeah. So we're just trying to get something to turn left.
Turn left.
Yeah.
Like you want to be a NASCAR racer, just turn left.
Yeah, just keep turning left, baby.
All right. Doolittle only threw fastballs, right?
Yeah, I mean.
So he's the one teaching you a breaking ball? And he just threw heater after heater after heater.
Yeah, he's
like
developed.
This? Did you ever see him? You ever seen him pitch? Like this?
Oh yeah. We rehabbed together whenever he was here. I was here down here rehabbing, so we got to spend a lot of time together before he was a coach.
What does that strain feel like? Because for what you said, the sweeper's more of an intent pitch. Do you feel any extra strain when you started really ripping on it here now that we're part of the way into spring?
Not at all. It's not like a strain thing because I'm throwing it exactly like I do my curveball. I'm telling you, like, the exact same. So whenever I throw it the exact same, because it is staying up a little bit higher and I'm not seeing the north-south, I have to think about burying it, and then it stays right at the bottom of the zone. So there's no difference in, like, manipulating my hand, trying to sweep around it. I'm not throwing like a vert sweeper. It's still depthy. It's like we're calling it a turbo slurve here, and because it's been 85, 87. So the strain is the same. It feels good on my arm, and we've gotten some whiff on it from righty, so we're happy about it.
Do you check the numbers every pitch in the bullpen, and then when you're on your start, do you get them between innings?
No, I don't really look at the numbers a whole lot. I let
you
these
just
guys
explain for 10 minutes about all.
Well, I understand what the coaches are explaining to me. You got to understand what they're talking about. So I'm not a guy that's going to like throw a pitch, look, see. I mean, if you're working on something, and I'm not chasing certain numbers. I'm chasing a shape with my eyes that I think is going to be effective to a hitter. So, and those guys know a lot more than I do, and they can explain it to me.
All right. So you seem like somebody that competes. Did you compete in live at-bats against your teammates this spring?
Yeah, 100%.
And
trying to
did you get anybody? Out. And do you talk a little smack to them?
I'm not necessarily talking smack, but I want them competing at the same level I am. I want to bring that energy to the backfield. I don't really care who's in the stands or whatever. Like, once I get the ball, it could be in my backyard. I'm trying to get you out.
So you're James Wood, you punch him out, you're like,
that's right.
That's right. I got you.
We hit it. Yeah.
I got you.
He's a hard guy to punch out.
He's also a hard guy to keep him in the yard.
Yeah, that's right.
So if he gets you, though, can he talk back?
I mean, yeah, 100%. He got me. Why not?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people have that problem.
When you were playing, would you let your guys know?
Which part?
If you got him on a long ball?
You know anything about
I do. I do know.
I probably said a couple things I shouldn't have said in my life. Yes.
Exactly.
More than once.
Yeah.
So what's the sweeper? I know you're talking about sweeper, and you're talking about changeup, you're talking about trying to get it to go left. How do you incorporate that without overusing it, without falling in love with the sweeper?
No, that's a hard thing to navigate because early on in spring, whenever you got a new toy, you're in love with it. Like, I'm like, man, when can I use this? And you're trying to see spots that you can use it. And that's a conversation that we've been having because there are moments where I go to my pitch, the curveball, and I've chosen to throw the sweeper over it just because I'm kind of falling in love with this new toy, trying to see the spots that I can go pick with it. So just trying to find that balance. And obviously these guys, they're dialed in on it, and we're just going to try to pick our right spots with it.
You had 48 innings last year. You talked about conversations with the organization. Did they talk to you about an innings limit? You're always hearing it with younger pitchers, guys that are now coming to their first full season after an injury. Did they talk to you about it?
No. I got 220 innings last year over the course of the season through AAA and the big leagues. So I would like to go get 180. Let it ride, try to make 32 starts, go compete every
Is that
day.
Is that the natural progression? Would you say you had 120 last year and then jumped to 180?
Well, yeah, it was originally supposed to be around 100, and I felt great at the end of the season. I asked for the ball, and they let me go 5 innings for 5 starts.
You were on the Garrett Crochet program?
Yeah.
And then he went out last year and
threw 180.
Almost won the Cy Young.
Right.
So is that next for you?
I would love that. I mean, that's why I work. I want to go. I mean, if you're doing that, you're helping your team. So.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
Listen, starters that take the ball every 5th day are so valuable in this game that if you can do it and make 32 starts, I will tip my cap to you and say, way to go, sir.
Thanks.
Hey, Cade, this was great, man. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hold
Keep
on,
doing
before he goes, I have to, he said he likes to talk trash. So I get to talk a little trash to him right now. So he went to Bixby High School in Oklahoma. Okay. My son last year played Bixby High School. They came onto the field, Kratz, you like this. They had this boom box and they had this big bus. We were playing, right? They had this whole thing. And they were out in the outfield stretching. And our team is out there, our little small team from Florida. And they were barking at them the whole time. And they're like, we're the big dogs in this yard. We're the big dogs. They're all barking at our team. And then TFA went out and whooped their ass. And then they're like, you ain't barking now, bitch. So that's my trash.
There you go. Yeah, we weren't like that when I was in high school. I promise you that. I can't believe that they're doing that. They're barking?
They were barking at
boom boxing?
Yes, they had a big boom box.
Man, we got to clean that up, Bixby. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. They might get a little phone call from Cade. Maybe a phone call. So. Clean it up. Well, Cade, now I can thank you. Appreciate the time, man. Keep doing your thing in spring. We're watching, we're following. Good luck.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
And Kratz and I will take over here for a couple minutes while they, in spring training, will work on a quick shift change. I've been told CJ Abrams is coming up next to join us on FT, but good conversation there. Also, Kratz, as we're hearing maybe at Nats camp more than any other camp, a lot of video game lovers. I always like to remind people a few times a year, it is the hobby of choice in baseball for quite a while now, probably about 10 plus, maybe even 15 plus years at this point, when the nightlife started to cool off in the sport. Major League Baseball used to be a party boy sport. It used to be, not anymore.
Definitely was. Guys would come into spring training to actually start training. Guys wouldn't come to spring training fully in shape. Now dudes are coming in first day, pitchers are throwing 100. Hitters have already taken, X amount of live at-bats since they, from home in the cages, lifting. Dudes used to come in. I remember tons of my coaches used to say, you've been throwing already? Oh, I used to just start throwing like 6 weeks of spring training. That was plenty. That's all I needed. Now it's different. So you got to make different choices post-game. Ain't nothing wrong with a video game. The boys get on the sticks, talk a little smack, keeps that competitive juices flowing. They get enough sleep. You're good to go for the next day.
Exactly. All right, let's go back to camp. CJ Abrams ready to go with us. CJ, thanks for joining us, man. How you doing? How's camp?
Doing well. It's going well. We're all good.
Good. What are you working on?
A little bit of everything. On the offensive side, kind of staying selective in the zone. That starts within the cages with the routine, just kind of shrinking the zone. Everything's got to be something you can drive. And then on defense, kind of moving my feet, getting in a good position to throw every time.
Range? Is that a thing? Like can you work on your range?
I mean, yeah, that starts with the prep step, I'd say. Kind of getting ready as the ball's in the air, about to be hit. Just prep steps probably the best I could.
Do you talk to James Wood about shrinking the zone? Do you talk to other guys in your team on how they do it? Because James has a pretty good eye. He usually stays in the zone. Do you talk to other guys here?
I mean, yeah, like you said, James, he does a really good job of controlling the zone. You just got to be able to kind of take the ones that are close, and if they call you or ring you up on one, you can't be mad at yourself. Kind of stay with the plan, and yeah, we got the challenge system now, so just kind of put that to use.
You feel like there's a lot of this in your future this year? You want to try it out more in spring training or less, or you feel like you got a good idea?
Yeah, I haven't tried it in spring training yet, but I probably will, just to kind of see where the top and bottom is. I think in and out, I'm pretty good. Yeah, just I'll use it whenever I know it's a ball.
How good can you be? I'm sick of hearing so many people go, oh, you know, CJ says he wants to do this, he wants to hit for a higher. Very few times do people talk about a player like they talk about you, where they got power. Power came into your game here in the last few years. You got defense. You got an arm. You're a five-tool player, but how good do you think you can be?
Good as I want to be. The sky's the limit. I got to be able to be disciplined and kind of stay where my feet are and just stay positive. So it's as good as I can do.
How good can this Nats team be?
Really good.
You guys going to have Natitude? Do they still do the Natitude?
Natitude? I'm not sure. I think so. But we're going to be good. I think we're going to be good as long as we all, like I said, take care of the task at hand and stay together and play as a group. And we're going to be really good.
Hey, CJ, how much did you pay attention to the offseason with trade rumors? At one point, your name was linked to the Giants. Paul Toboni has been on the show multiple times, and I know he's new to the party, but it sounds like he's very communicative. So what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, I talked to him on the phone a couple of times. We had good conversations, kind of just told me to just kind of ignore the rumors and stuff. Whatever happens, happens. Anything can happen. But, just kind of stay away from the rumors. You hear them all the time, but they don't really know.
How much you appreciate that?
I appreciate it a lot. Communication's big, and he does a good job with it.
Because he said McKenzie, who you were traded with him once, he was calling him saying, I don't think anything's happening. And then he called him back, said, it's starting to heat up. Just be aware that something might go down. And
yeah, it's always good. It's always good to have an idea of what's going on. Said anything can happen.
What is Blake like?
Blake's cool. Communication's good as well. Kind of gives us everything we need.
Does he give you how far in advance does he give you your schedule?
Day before. So we'll know the night before. Yeah.
Okay. Because some kids now are doing like 4 days.
4 days?
Yeah.
Never had that one.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of advance notice. I wanted to double click back on what you were saying with footwork. So take us through that, because we have a lot of youngsters that listen to the show. Like, how can you improve that part? What specifically do you do drill wise? Who do you speak to coach wise to help you with stuff like that when spring training is the perfect time for it?
Yeah, Vic, Smars, it starts with the early work. Kind of starting with the routine, get the hands working, and then we move to the feet working. So with the footwork, I always want to have them moving. I don't want to get stagnant, kind of get my feet lazy. That's when the hands have to work too much and bad things happen. So just keep the feet moving, get myself in a good position to field the ball and throw it and make the play.
Lots been made about you guys buying, I don't know how many Traject machines you guys bought. Are you a Traject guy? Do you think it's something that you use in your routine and is valuable?
I think so. First time I tried it was here in spring training. I haven't been off of it, and I've been there every day on the Traject. So I think it'll be big, especially being able to get ABs on maybe guys in the bullpen and stuff, seeing them before the game. So I think it'll be big.
Who's your favorite guy to face?
I mean, I'll face anybody.
No, I'm talking about off the Traject. Who you're practicing off of every time?
Someone different every day. I don't really double up much.
So do you pick Scooble? Do you pick Skeens? Do you pick?
Yeah, you definitely want to challenge yourself, and the Traject's a little bit harder than the real game, I think. So
do you go guys in your division more? Zach Wheeler, Nola.
I face everybody that's on there. I think close to it.
You do it before their start?
Yeah.
So before you guys play,
before the first AB, I want to have a couple ABs on.
And it mixes it up. People don't know. It'll throw all their pitches. It simulates them right. It mixes up the pitches too. It doesn't just throw fastballs.
Yep. Ball strike too, so you're able to make decisions. So I think that's
what happens when you punch out. Do you get mad if you punch out off the Traject?
No, you can't get mad. Can't get mad. It hurts, but, yeah.
When did you get introduced to that? When did you guys get it at with the Nats?
I think it was close to spring training when they had it here, and I came out early. I wanted to see it. I wanted to get on it, so it's been good.
That sounds
Very
awful.
cool.
That
sounds awful, AJ. Yeah, AJ.
You can just ruin your confidence
practicing and you're striking out.
Yeah. You can ruin your confidence before you have to face the guy. You're like, man, I can't hit this guy for nothing, and I haven't even faced him yet.
Wait,
Can't be like that.
CJ, have you thought about putting any of your teammates in? Because I'll tell you a little bit about me. I'd have put my teammates in, and I'd have videoed every one of them. And when I finally clipped one, I would just send it. I would send the video over to him. Have you done that yet?
I gotta do that. No, I gotta do that one. It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, exactly. So, how you feeling? Oh, I homered off you this morning. Oh, really? Yeah. Let me show you. That's good. When you do, let us know. Show us that on social media. That would hit. Yeah. CJ, great to talk to you, man. Really appreciate it. Good luck. Have fun the rest of spring training.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate y'all.
FT fam, we'll be right back.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah,
appreciate it, man. Have a great year.
In baseball, there are two constants: the greatness of the game and of the players. Legends live in Out of the Park Baseball 27, the brand new edition of the renowned baseball strategy game enjoyed by fans around the world is here. The 27th edition of the only MLB licensed PC strategy game is a baseball fan's dream come true. The newest and biggest version of Out of the Park Baseball is packed with loads of features and improvements, including all new advanced stats tracking. Changes the game forever. Play the real World Baseball Classic as it happens. Out of the Park Baseball 27 is here. The Infinite Baseball Sandbox. Available March 13th, 2026.
Yeah, that's the cool stuff for me. You know, I'm pumping Out of the Park Baseball 26. The game, or 27, I should say. The game launches worldwide on the 13th. You can pre-order today for 10% off. Wishlisted on Steam soon, and also will be 10% off during launch week. World Baseball Classic. That's where the game can really shine because they get everything updated for you in the newest edition. Okay, coming up next, we're going to talk to Blake Butera, Washington Nationals manager. I'm also looking forward to a conversation with Miles Mikolas from Nats camp. So we'll be right back. Nationals manager Blake Butera is with us here at spring training at Nats camp. So, Blake, how is camp, your first experience here running this team, going for you?
Yeah, it's been a blast. Guys are awesome. West Palm Beach is awesome. We were just talking about food and restaurants around, and yeah, nothing to complain about. The players have been outstanding. They've all shown up early and have been ready to work, and staff's been awesome. And yeah, everything's good.
How'd your first meeting go?
First meeting.
Are you a write it down on the paper, or you just wing it off your?
Yeah, so I jot down like a few notes, but I'm better at just kind of talking. I feel like when I read, like it doesn't feel real. So I just try to kind of get it started off the paper and then go from the heart.
Did you forget anyone's name? You have to introduce everybody, and there's like 400 staff members. Did you mess up any?
I had them all introduce themselves.
Oh, see, that was
yeah. I've been there. I've seen Cashy do it every year.
Yeah.
I'm not making that mistake.
And he forgets like the 4th team doctor that he's never seen. He's like, and that's that guy over there.
Yeah. Usually it's me that he forgets. He's like, who's that guy?
Okay. Yeah. Because you think you're a player.
Yeah.
What was your message to the guys?
I mean, the big part of it is like, I want this to be a player-led clubhouse. I just feel like when players hold each other accountable, it means a lot more than when the coaches have to do it. At the end of the day, like this is their career. So making sure they understand, like our job as a coaching staff is just to be here and provide whatever they need necessary. We'll kind of basically like keep the train on the tracks, but it's up to them to control their career, and anything they need, we're going to be in their corners and support the heck out of them.
Are you willing to be able to be the guy that lays the discipline down, or do you feel like a Randy Knorr or one of your other coaches is going to be that guy?
No, I think, if it comes to it, I will be, if that's what it takes. Hopefully we get to a point where these guys are able to hold themselves accountable, but I'm sure there will be things that come up throughout the year where I'm going to have to step in and say something, and certainly ready and willing to do that.
Who's more nervous the first day? Was it you or Paul? When you had to when you both got up in front of the team for the first time, because this is his first time running an organization.
Yeah.
This is your first time being the guy. Who do you think was more nervous?
It's a good question. I think Paul might have been. Yeah.
If you
I was ready to rock. I'd been there for like a month and a half. I was ready to go.
Hey, Blake, I have a question in terms of how you put your stamp on everything that you're going to do now, you, Paul, and the rest of the new staff there. How much background did you do on what was happening before you guys got there, say over the last year or 2 or 3? And then how do you take that and say, okay, cool, scratch a few of these things, let's evolve a few of these things? Like, did you do almost like conversations on the phone with players and say, hey, let me get everything that you guys did, and then let me see what I was doing at other spots and what we can bring over there?
Yeah, it was definitely collaborative. So I reached out to the guys that have been here the longest and just wanted to hear about, like, hey, what are some things that we can improve upon? Anything. It could be the food. It could have been, the workouts, the timing of what time things happened, and just kind of got some feedback on what we could make improvements on. And obviously we couldn't do everything, but I told them that like whatever was the most important and whatever was the most consistent that we're hearing from the guys, like those are the things that we're going to fix. And then secondly, bringing in our coaching staff from all different organizations, just kind of bending their ears on things that they did with other organizations that they liked, they didn't like, and just kind of mesh all that together. And which requires a lot of meetings with the staff, of course, but just trying to find a blend of things that we like that can make adjustments to.
What's one of the things that you made adjustments to?
I think early on was just spring training as a whole. In a lot of organizations, as I'm sure, Erik, you've been in a lot of spring trainings, and AJ, you as well. Like, they're all different, but I think the biggest thing is like we ask these guys to get to the field so early. And also just being cognizant of the fact that like a lot of these players have families, wives, kids, and during the season, they're going to spend a lot of time away from them with the travel. So during spring training, it's like, what are we trying to accomplish? And when we ask you to be at the field, let's make sure we're efficient with our time and we're getting the work in we need to get in, versus just like being here at 6 a.m. and not leave until 3 o'clock. And it's like, you go home and you're like, what did I even do? I took like 12 swings and took a few ground balls, but I was there for 7-8 hours. So making sure that like the time we do ask them to be here, that they're getting a lot out of that.
What is your managing style? If somebody would say, okay, I see this in him every single day, what would you say your managing style is and will be in the big leagues?
I think being the same person every day, like the consistency is probably the biggest thing. It's funny. I tell like my wife and others a lot of times, they're like, do you ever get, mad, or do you ever get super happy? And sometimes I wish I do, but I think just part of my nature is just being like very consistent and like just.
Can you yell at the guys if they make you angry? Are you gonna break?
I've done it a handful of times before. Whether granted it was the minor leagues, but yeah, I can get there.
You take the
it takes a lot.
food tray.
Yeah, Yeah.
And then
The water
do
cooler.
you feel better afterwards?
Sometimes. Yeah. It hasn't happened that frequently to know if I feel sometimes, yeah.
When you go home, do you feel bad about it? And you tell your family, you're like, gosh, I snapped today. It's so bad.
Yeah, sometimes.
I love it.
No, I think just being the same person. Like, this is a really hard game. I was released as a player, and I get it. Like, it's really, really hard what we're asking these guys to do every day. So just understanding, like, if these guys are giving their best and they're running balls out, and then we can tell they're giving a good effort, like, just bearing with them and making sure they know we're in their corner and we're going to help them along the way.
Hey, Blake, can you throw out a name or two that you think are showing signs of significant improvement so far? Of course, we're not going to talk a ton about results. It's early spring training, and even spring training stats in general, you got to take with a grain of salt. But maybe a player or two that you identified when you were studying this team and said, hey, I think we can unlock a thing or two here with some fresh voices.
Yeah, I think the first couple that come to mind is like Cade Cavalli. He's been unbelievable so far. Just the work he's put in this offseason, the mindset he has. I'm not sure if you got a chance to talk to him yet, but he's so competitive and just is a monster on the mound, oozes confidence and just wants to win, wants to be great. He's been outstanding so far. And then CJ Abrams is one. I know everyone loves to talk about CJ. He's an incredible player, but just the first couple times we've talked with CJ is like he wants to get better defensively at shortstop. He wants to be one of the top 10 shortstops in baseball overall, not just offensive shortstop, but he wants to be that total package. Like, he wants to be a good defender. He wants to steal bases. He wants to hit for a high average and home runs. And I think just kind of tapping into those other parts of his games, whether it be base running, defense, I think we're going to have a really good year out of CJ.
What do you need to be successful this year as your first year manager? And maybe it's a team thing, maybe it's something for you, but what do you need to see? Because people are looking at this team saying, okay, they're in a tough NL East, it's tough National League overall. What do you want to see your first year as a manager? You can walk away from this year and say it was a successful year.
Yeah, I mean, I think I want to see these players. They've all said it, right? Like, they're not finished products. Like, there's a constant theme and message from these guys of like, hey, like, we want to get better, like, individually. Like, we're 23, 24, 25 years old. We're in the big leagues, yes, but like, there's still a long ways that we can go, and we want to reach our ceiling. So it's kind of building out those daily routines, those daily habits of whether it be offensively, defensively, on the bases, and just continue to push these guys individually as players to become better. I think when you show up at the park early and you see CJ working on his defense before the fans are in the stands, when you see James out there running balls down in the outfield, and just the early work and the attention to detail, like, those are the things to me that stand out the most, and I want to see us do a really good job of.
Best Boston College baseball player
currently or ever?
Ever.
Oh man, there's a lot of good ones. Michael King probably right now.
Okay. Over
Sal and King. That's a close one. I play with Michael King, so I'll put
if you're going with him,
yeah, Sal was right after me. Okay. But we did have Sal with Team Italy, so love Sal.
Okay.
Hey, that's my last point here real quick. Blake, how locked in are you going to be to the WBC? And I mean, we had Vinny P. Pasquantino on the other day, and he talked about how important you were to that team. So I think they're going to miss you, man.
No, I love those guys. They're going to be great. They'll be just fine. There's some really good dudes on that team, and just the World Baseball Classic in general. Like, it's such a cool tournament, cool event. This morning when we got to the gym, turned on the Korea and Czech game, and just all the guys are locked in. It's just a lot of fun seeing these guys compete for their countries, and I think whenever you can get international baseball on the grand stage, like, it's just a blast.
Every time I see Mike Piazza, who obviously he defends you, he defends this guy like you're part of his family. I don't know, when you got hired, we were like, man, he's young to be a manager. And Piazza, lay off my guy Butera. He's my guy. He's going to be great. I saw him a couple months ago. Hey, how you interviewed Butera yet? He's awesome. And I'm like, what do you guys have with each other? And I forgot that you guys run Team
Italy.
He's like, that's my guy. Leave him alone.
Yeah. He's been awesome. He reaches out, always checking in on things and giving advice. And I know he loves the team speeches. That's what he lives for. So he's like, hey, if I ever need to jump in there and fire the boys up, let me know. He's awesome.
That's good. Well, Blake, thank you for the time. Good to see you. Enjoy the rest of spring.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Erik. Thanks, AJ. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, when you're keeping the lights on for thousands or even millions, reliability isn't optional. Fastenal helps power generation teams stay running with the right parts, tools, and safety gear right where the work happens.
From turbine maintenance to everyday MRO needs, our local teams and on-site solutions keep your crews supplied, efficient, and safe. Fastenal, powering up productivity one plan at a time.
Want to learn more? Visit fastenal.com for industrial supplies and innovative solutions. That's FASTENAL.com.
The Blue Jays had the lowest strikeout rate in the big leagues, I think, last year. And the Giants had a very high one. And I said, what's our two-strike approach going to be this year? And you told me something. I stepped back a little bit. And you said, we don't really have a two-strike approach. It's more about game planning and being really confident in your game plan before you go up to the plate. Maybe you can touch on. I'm going to try to recreate that conversation right now. So maybe we can touch on that a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, I think so much of being good with two strikes is being good with less than two strikes. And there's plenty of ways when guys get to two strikes that can tell you how the at-bat's going to finish or how the bat's going to end. And I think so much of it is like if you are ready from the very first pitch and you have a really rock solid plan of what I'm going to do from pitch number one, a lot of times the at bat doesn't go a whole lot longer to get to two strikes because you are just going to put yourself either in a really good count and we're going to get our best swing off when we get in that count, or we're going to take pitches because they're not in the zone that we're looking for. We're not hunting it's not the pitch that we're hunting. And then you end up walking or you end up getting yourself in a count there. And like, I think every at bat at some point is supposed to end. And I think it's up to hitters to when that point it comes and when it shows itself, we just got to end it. And it shows up in different ways. But the game planning part of it, I think is, I think it's an underrated part of hitting. I think it's an underrated part of game planning. There's a back and forth game. You talk to catchers and they're thinking about it on every single pitch. Like, what would I throw here? What is he thinking? What is the pitcher thinking? What do I go to here? What's he struggle with the most? There's such a cat and mouse game that goes on that, like, as hitters and hitting coaches, if we're not somewhat helping to prepare them for those, then you're going to get flailing at everything and you're just trying to cover everything. And then you're just in a 1-2-0-2 count every single time. And then you got to start really trying to figure out what to do with two strikes. And I'm of the belief if you're just really good with less than two strikes, the two strike stuff's going to take care of itself.
National starting pitcher Miles Mikolas is here with us on FT. Miles, I want to go right to the meeting you came from, if you don't mind, because we'd never get a peek inside the curtain of all of the meetings that occur at spring training. So whether you want to talk about this one or any others, what are they like? Okay. What's going on during all of these meetings?
This is just more of like kind of a fun meeting. With a lot of the new coaching staff and some new players, they're going around and they're doing it a really fun way. So I went yesterday with House. So they're going the youngest guy and the oldest guy every day or every other day. And you're just like little like player interview, like get to know everybody. So I went yesterday, you get the whole spiel, wife, 4 kids, 2 dogs, this and that, you're round and your signing bonus and your little bit of your backstory. And then they have like an open forum. Guys can ask you questions and just kind of like a little 10, 15 minute, what you got, get to know you.
Did you get any questions?
Kind of thing.
Was anyone brave enough to ask you a question?
Yeah. I got a few questions. One of them was about, I've got chickens at home.
Yeah.
And one of them is like the chicken from, you seen the movie Moana?
No, but
he's like a chicken, but he's not all there. He's a rooster, but he's not all there. He kind of walks around like sideways most of the day, and he's just like a little special, like needs kind of chicken. But I had some guys over at my house playing cards the other day, and we were talking about that. So one of the other guys wanted to know more about the chicken and, you know, some of the Japanese stuff. Everybody wants to know about the eating the lizard and the fall league kind of stuff. But it was fun. You know, it's a fun little, you know, I get to have some interaction with some of the guys, and it's nice. I like it.
Do you have a good question for the guys? Like, have you been able to be like, ooh, this is a question I've heard. I want to ask this.
I didn't have one. I didn't have one today. I have one ready. I'm pitching later today, so I didn't have one like super. I wasn't super there. I'm getting locked in. I'm in the zone right now.
Did you ask your manager what it's like to be 10 years younger than you are?
No, but whenever he gets up there, maybe
you and him, you could be the old one and he could be the young one. You guys could do it together.
He's in charge. I'll have to ask him.
What's that dynamic like, by the way? You know, what's it been like for Butera to not only enter a new job, but I'm sure, you know, baseball players like to have a good time. It sometimes becomes a little bit of like a frat scenario, and they're probably like, hey, you're quite young, dude.
I don't think it's gotten there yet. I mean, it's spring training. Everyone's kind of still, I feel like, you know, everybody's feeling each other out a little bit. Everybody's getting to know each other. But my stance on being a player has always been, you know, I'm a player. I'm here to play. You know, I'll take the ball when he gives it to me, and I'll give it back when he asks for it back. No questions asked. You know, he's the manager. He's in charge. You know, same thing with the pitching coaches. I'm here to learn. You know, they've got a young staff, but they're very knowledgeable. So it's been fun to kind of learn some things and, you know, talk and get some new, you know, some new philosophies and new theories. It's been really enjoyable.
The reason you have a haircut this year?
Yeah, the barber that comes in was giving me a really hard time about how, you know, rough around the edges my sideburns and stuff were looking. So I came in the other day and I said, have at it, man. See what you got. I thought it was a good haircut.
It is, but yeah. I'm used to you with the long flowing locks.
Yeah, I'm still growing it out.
Okay.
But it wasn't really long, but it was just
messy,
very unkempt.
Yeah.
You know, I like to keep it longer, but I still like to keep my appearances up.
How is it to be in a new camp? You were in St. Louis for a long time, and now you go to a new place, which is right down the road from your house. So you're commuting. Do you make sandwiches for all your teammates before you leave the house and cut them into quarters? But how is the new camp? Seriously.
No, new camp is good. I don't bring sandwiches, but sometimes I bring eggs in from my chickens. I'll bring my own eggs in for breakfast.
How do you know if an egg has a chicken in it or is just an egg? Is there a way you can tell?
You feel like a flashlight up to it. You know, like you shine a light up to it, and if you see like an embryo or a chicken in there, but we have the one rooster, but he's not all there, so he doesn't lay with the hens.
Okay.
Which is kind of nice.
Because
we want the eggs. Every egg we get, we can eat.
If you bring like one of your teammates one and it has a little baby chicken,
cracks it, that would be
not
good. Yeah, that'd be weird.
Okay. I just didn't know how you can tell.
Yeah, but if you want to tell, use a flashlight.
Okay.
You shine it through the egg, and you can see a yolk or a embryo or whatever.
And then if you find one with an embryo, you keep the?
I would maybe give it back to the chicken and see if it would lay on it and hatch into another chicken. Then I'd have more chickens.
How many chickens do you want?
I think the coop we have can house like 25. We have 18.
Okay.
So I got
you only have one rooster?
Yeah. It wasn't supposed to be a rooster. We ordered only chickens. And when they sent them to us, you know, nobody's perfect. You're you know, judging the chickens' genders. They're like in your hand. I don't know how they do it, but they missed one and we ended up getting a rooster.
You said it's good. I mean, the rooster wants to be in with the hens. I mean, you said it's good that they're apart, but you're kind of depriving him of that.
No, they're not apart. They're together, but he's, like I said, he's not all there mentally. So he doesn't attempt to, you know, lay with the chickens in the biblical sense.
How many eggs does your chickens make per day?
We get
I'm fascinated by this.
We get like a dozen eggs a day. Some days a little less.
Donate them all?
No, we eat them. I got 4 kids. We're like a dozen eggs every morning. That's why we got them. Because all the COVID stuff and like all the eggs, and there was like the egg shortage.
Yeah.
You go to the store, you couldn't find the good eggs. Then you find out that the good eggs are actually not good eggs. Like one of those egg companies was like, oh, organic this and that. And it turns out that they weren't as good as they were supposed to be. So my wife's like, we're getting chickens. We got plenty of land, plenty of space.
Acres do you need for chicken?
You really only need like this much space that we're sitting in right here. You could have like 20 chickens under this little pop-up tent we got, but they're on like probably like a quarter acre little fenced in coop area. They get the bugs out of the grass, and if I go fishing and I bring home like a fish carcass, they'll just destroy the fish carcass. They're like little vultures almost. And it's really good for them. The omegas in the fish are really good for the chickens and the eggs.
I have no transition. I have no transition back to baseball, so I'm just going to go for it because I love talking whatever gets players, like whatever they're into, so that's awesome. But I'm watching behind you, and dudes are throwing bullpens, kind of. They're throwing like into a net with a pad hanging from it.
Yeah, I think they're getting their arms loose.
Okay.
They've got like guys these days, one of the popular things to do, you've got like a weighted ball program to help improve like some of your shoulder strength and like reinforce that delivery a little bit, work on throwing strikes, build some velocity, build some strength. I think that's an important thing to do early in spring, getting ready for a long season.
Why do we have to throw balls against the pad?
Well, it's like lifting weights in the gym, right? Like you're not just doing push-ups and body weight squats, you're adding some weight to it. So you add light loads at lower intensity, heavier weight, you can get some more layback without really having to crank it so much, back here. So it's, the scientists and the sports people have said that it's good. So people are doing it.
Do you believe it? You make all your starts. You're that guy that I'm like, look to what he's doing while you throw 100 miles an hour. Like, do you believe in that stuff?
I believe that throwing 100 might not be the best thing for your body. That's one of those things. But I do some weighted ball things. Yes.
Just do steroids. Then you can throw hard.
No, those are, I got the organic chickens in the backyard. The last thing I'm doing is putting some, synthetic steroid stuff into my body.
What about twice?
Just a health standpoint. Never twice. You fool me once, you can't get fooled again.
Yeah.
I think Bush said that in one of his things. I'm not a huge fan of the steroids or doing them once or twice or at all.
So when you see a guy like Profar, Jerks and Profar get whacked the second time, and now the PA saying, well, it might not be a real test. Like, where are we at here?
Well,
and then here's my other question for you. You're a player, I've played for a long time. I played in the steroid era, so I know all about this. When fans say, oh, you should automatically lose your guaranteed contract, and you should do this, and you should have to bounce back to league minimum, then that opens up so many other doors of things that.
Yeah, well, all of a sudden, if you have a team that really doesn't want a player's contract, would they doctor a thing, or if they know he was doing something, would they prescribe him something? Like the Adderall and the TUE. Oh, it's 1 day lapse. Let's test him because he might fail. Test for Adderall, and then we can void the contract. It's a really slippery slope, but you'd never want to believe that anyone or any organization would do something, so dastardly, as to nail a guy on purpose. As far as you fail one test, I understand guys want to be healthy, guys want to perform, but there's more honest ways to do it than doing something that's clearly outlined as not legal with doing steroids. And as far as the PA doing anything to help them out, I would have to say I'm mostly against that. I mean, if it was an improper test or something like that, I mean, that's another story. But I talked to someone the other day who had failed a test for something like from GNC that's now legal. They told me they spent like $100,000 of their own money, like hiring lawyers, trying to get to the bottom of this test that was failed but no longer is a thing. And I would just assume if a guy like Profar is innocent, he's got plenty of money and time now to defend himself without the need of the Players Association. I don't think the PA should be doing anything. The unless it was some kind of illegal test. They snuck in and pulled him out of his bed and drug tested him in the middle of the night. In which case, you shouldn't be on steroids anyway. I didn't read the report. I don't know exactly the substance he failed for this time out. If you guys have that, but I know the first time it was a legit steroid, right? Like something ended in like a legit steroid, not like a dewormer or something like that.
No, this was a
yeah. So I just don't see the need to defend that. I'm all for defending players wrongfully, but I just don't see that. Maybe it was a misprint in the article I read about it. I don't know.
Hold up, I can tell you. I'm the stat guy here, right? I'm the researcher here. So okay. Last time the positive test was for a substance called human chorionic gonadotropin, HCG. It's a fertility drug often taken after a steroid cycle. It was the same. That's the same exact drug that Manny Ramirez was suspended for in 2009. Okay. So that was last time. Okay. This time it was exogenous testosterone and its metabolites. So last time seemed like more of a masking agent. This time, and again, I'm not going to play doctor, but just from article reading, they sell that. This time,
is he not eating the gummy bears at the right time of day, like that he got popped, or is it one of those things? Like I don't understand it. What I don't understand honestly is, again, I understand you want to live up to your contract, right? Like I signed a contract. I want to pitch as good as I can to make it seem, but you already signed it. Like he's already in the middle of this contract. Just do your best, man. Do your best, get your rest, get under a red light. There's so many things that you can do now that aren't illegal, that are even like on the edge of it. You got your red light, your oxygen tubes, saunas, cold tubs, needles, supplements, creatine,
organic chicken egg,
protein, creatine, glutamine. You got all the enes out there. You don't need any of the osterones, I saw something about the guy. There was a guy from the Mets who was eating like 30 eggs a day. I saw this story on Instagram. I don't know if you guys got on that one.
Campbell. He touched 100 after he started eating 30 eggs a day. He needs to move next to you.
I need more chickens. And I do you want to do the work and eat 30 eggs a day, or just like, one shot a day? That's laziness.
I appreciate your honesty, because people don't understand necessarily, like you put a lot of work in to be healthy, correct?
Yeah, a lot.
And so all the things that you just mentioned, does it make you more mad when you hear something like that and you think out in the game there's other guys that are also skirting tests? Or do you think that we got it? Like these are the only Johan Rojas and Jerkson Profar are the only two guys that are doing steroids? Or do you think it's still out there and the testing is doing as best we can in baseball?
It's like your law of averages, right? If you catch one guy, there's probably at least another handful of guys out there doing it. You just hope that they're not the guys that are getting you, and you hope to whoever you want to hope for that they're not the guys that are at the top of the league, because that kind of would ruin the fantasy that, a guy can hit 50, 60 home runs, without needing that stuff, right? We had that back in the 90s. Now the guys you see doing it are legitimate. Aaron Judge is a monster. Shohei's work ethic is insane. Like, I believe those guys are doing it the complete right way. But you just hope that there's not guys falling through the cracks.
Agreed. All right, before we let you go, you're pitching today.
Yes.
What's your routine like on a start day? Because first of all, you're talking to us today on a start day. For some pitchers, that is a complete no-no.
No, I'm probably, so it's like a 1 o'clock game. So by 11 o'clock, I'm starting to lock it in. I'm dressed, I'm foam rolling, I'm stretching. By 12 o'clock, I'm out on this turf field, running sprints, getting loose, maybe some weighted ball stuff, just to help get myself a little bit more loose. And then, 12:30, I'm out on the field, playing catch, getting ready for my bullpen before the game. Somewhere in between there, because it's a day game, I had a big breakfast, so I really won't eat anything till after the game. Maybe some fruit here, like when I go back inside, a little sugar, a little bit of carbs, maybe another sip of coffee. Start drinking some water. It's not going to be too hot. It's still spring down here. It's not bad. Go out there and, work on some of the stuff I've been working on in camp, my bullpens, and, start getting ready for the season.
Miles, last one for you, just so I wanted to get one WBC question in there. So the games are going on in Japan right now. Did you hear about Czechia? So last time around, they adopted the team as like one of their own, the Japanese fans. Obviously, they're going to root for Japan when they're playing, but there are so many games out there in that pool that don't involve Japan. Yeah. So apparently they've adopted them. Can you just speak to how cool the fan environment is there and how they're just like, yeah, like let's go to the Czechia Australia game and just give them the time of their life?
Yeah, that's awesome. The fans in Japan for baseball, I mean, if any of them are watching the show, I'm sure you guys are international.
Of course.
Thank you again, all the fans in Tokyo. They're some of the absolute best fans, I think, of any sport in the whole wide world. Baseball's like their one big sport over there. It's almost like if you rolled like college football and NASCAR like into one thing. I mean, they're out there, Tokyo Dome, 40,000 sold out with the flags and the trumpets, and they're into it, and they're fans of the game, and they love it. And for them to, come out and support a country who's probably not going to have a ton of fans there, I think just, speaks volumes to how much they love baseball and, how great a culture that it is over there.
Miles, you're the man. Yeah, well said. Thank you for joining us. Have fun. Good luck later, and we'll talk to you during the season, bud.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you. Nice long chat with Miles Mikolas. That was one of the better interviews we've done in a minute, by the way. All right, we're really quick here because we're out of time, but we wanted to get max time with Mikolas about all of those topics. So we will see everyone on the TV side tomorrow. We're going to keep running here for a little bit on YouTube. At MGM Futures, we are all about the World Baseball Classic now, which has officially begun, and Friday starts the journey for Team USA. So, guys, today let's look at their pool and the futures, of course, setting USA at minus 700 $700 to win $100 if you've got them winning the pool. After that is Mexico at plus 600. Italy at plus 2,500, and I'm basically going to stop there. I think you should stop there too. Could there be an upset of Mexico or Italy over USA? Sure, it could happen. Is it likely to happen? Hell no. So, guys, is there any value here? Like, for example, could Mexico pull this off? They've done it before, AJ, and there is some legit major league talent there. I would have liked to see Taj Bradley on this roster. He ended up not going over with Team Mexico, but I could have seen someone like that, stuff-wise, can shut down a lineup for a few innings and then mix and match with a few other big league guys. But what do you think? Is there any value with Mexico winning out in that pool, including beating USA and making some serious money?
You're looking at Mexico. I actually like Italy. We had Blake Butera on here, who was, I believe, the bench coach for Italy last time. They got some legit big league players on Italy now. I don't know if their pitching can get them through, but they got some hitters on that team, and they've had special runs before. So Italy, it was at 25 plus 2,500. That would be the one I'd be looking at. I think you look at Mexico, and yes, they have a good team, but I think USA will be really fired up. USA could take Italy a little bit lightly, and let's not forget, it's one game. All they got to do is beat them that one game, and if they do that, then they can win the pool. So if you're looking for me for the value, it's not in Mexico. I go big, as you guys know. I go Italy.
I'll take the Mexico at plus 600 because they have beaten Team USA. And I think there's a big caveat there. Yes, they might not have the pitching. If you had Taj Bradley lined up, that would be awesome, but they don't. They might be pitching their better pitchers to make sure they get through and don't run into a stinker against Italy and be the team that gets knocked out. So to me, I think Mexico could do it because of the fact that Alejandro Kirk is on this team. You have a big league catcher that knows how to call games in big games. I think there's some value there at plus 600.
Yeah, if you look at Team Italy, Aaron Nola and Michael Lorenzen part of a rotation, and then you look at the bullpen. There are some names you should know. Ron Marinaccio has been up and down in the bigs for a while. Adam Ottavino is pitching. Greg Weisser is on that roster. Gordon Graceffo. I mean, these are some names that can throw some innings and record some outs for you. So I like both. It's interesting. It's bold, but there's a reason why the plus 2,500 and the plus 600 is there. So go check that out. And then also, if you're betting on the WBC, it's all available for you on the BetMGM app and at betmgm.com. You can secure yourself a little odds boost token to score a bigger payout. So you can make that WBC moment a little bigger. Activate your odds boost token for any WBC bet, and you'll receive a bigger payout if that bet comes through. Gambling problem or concern? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.